If you're someone who struggles to make fitness stick as a habit and a lifestyle, this video is for you. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the video. This video is going to be all about how to make fitness stick once and for all. It's so common for people, myself included, to begin a fitness journey, but then somewhere along the way, maybe 2, 3 weeks in, maybe a month in, you sort of fall off track, you lose the motivation, you kind of lose the whole purpose of what you were doing. And then you end up in this cycle where you're sort of on it for a little bit and then you fall off and then you get back on and then you fall off. And then over time, you notice that you're never really getting anywhere. You're not really achieving the results that you're looking for. So in this video, I have 6 tips, 6 sort of mindset perspective changes that will help make fitness actually stick. So let's get right into it. Tip number 1 is performance-based goals over aesthetic-based goals. So when it comes to aesthetic-based goals, just, how you look, those type of results take much longer to achieve. So because of that, it'll be very easy for people to be sort of demotivated and fall off track when they're not seeing the results they want. That's why it's important to not only have aesthetic-based goals, but to also focus on building some performance-based goals. So these are things like, getting stronger at a certain lift, getting faster, getting your first pull-up. The thing about performance-based goals is that you can actually see progress not only a little quicker, but also more consistently. So unlike aesthetic-based goals, you can see performance-based goals and improvements almost workout to workout, week to week, or month to month. Because once you start to see those improvements in strength and performance, you're going to be hooked. And then another thing too is that a lot of aesthetic-based goals will often be a byproduct of various performance-based goals. So you don't really even have to worry about them that much. Just watch your performance improve over time, and you'll watch your physique improve over time. Tip number 2 is building habits versus just focusing on outcomes. So oftentimes when people start a fitness journey, all they're really thinking about is whatever outcome they want, right? They want to look a certain way. Focusing only on the outcome will cause people to sort of want to rush to get there. Sometimes take drastic measures like, go on some crazy drastic diet or some unsustainable workout program because they're too focused on whatever outcome they want, rather than focusing on building the habits and the everyday sort of actionable things that we can do to get us to our goals. Making sure you're getting your daily step count, getting your daily fruits and vegetables in, hitting the gym 3-4 times a week. Building these habits will be more likely to help this whole fitness journey stick for the long haul. And that leads us into tip number 3, which is shifting from a temporary mindset to a sustainable mindset. It's very common for people to look at a fitness transformation as a sort of like quick temporary thing that they just have to push through and eventually they'll get out on the other side. They're gonna push and just white knuckle it for this temporary amount of time and then they can just go back to how things were. I'll tell you right now, that is a recipe for disaster. So what we want to do is shift to a more sustainable mindset. And again, this goes back to that building habits and those everyday actionable things that you can do. So don't look at fitness as what can I temporarily do now to achieve what I want, but instead look at it as what are the things that I can do sustainably over time to achieve the things that I want. Tip number 4 is consistency and progress over perfection. Thing is, guys, we're human. We make mistakes and we're not perfect. But for some reason, a lot of times when people start a fitness journey, they approach it with this sort of all or nothing perfection type of mindset. Expecting perfection or having this sort of all or nothing mindset inherently sets us up for an unrealistic standard, which is why oftentimes you'll see people get really discouraged and sometimes quit if they fall off track a little bit or, they have a bad day or a bad workout. It's because they think, one little mess up is going to ruin everything. But it's like that common saying, one workout, one good week or whatever didn't get anybody in shape, just like one bad workout or one bad week isn't going to ruin all your progress. Instead of like trying to be, perfect all the time and expecting this perfection, try to aim for anywhere from 70 to 90% consistency month to month. This is going to allow a little bit of room for you to sort of breathe a little bit. Know that it's not perfection. You're not going to make perfect progress all the time, but that also doesn't mean that you should just throw away your whole fitness journey and give up. Consistency and progress will make it stick way more over expecting perfection. Tip number 5 is discipline over motivation. Another common idea people have when they begin a fitness journey is that it's all about motivation. Success comes way more from discipline and, again, we mentioned earlier, habits than it does from motivation. So learning to focus more on discipline, right, and sticking to the plan, especially when you don't want to, is going to get you much further than just trying to be motivated all the time. Whenever you're not motivated, it makes it very easy to skip that day. You could just be like, oh, I'm not really feeling the gym today, so I'll just blow it off. But again, the key is to do those things, especially when you don't want to do them. That's what's going to build that discipline, and it's going to make those things stick into your routine. And then the last tip, tip number 6, is have a plan. People will go into this sort of fitness nutrition thing just sort of blindly. They might tell themselves they're going to eat healthy, but they don't really know what to get from the store. They might go to the gym, but not really have a workout plan or any sort of direction. Going at your plan blindly will make it much, much easier to not only just give up, but also make it easier to do the easy thing. For example, if you don't have a plan with your nutrition, it'll make it much easier to choose that unhealthy choice or to go through the drive-through. And if you go to the gym with no plan, you might kind of just walk around sort of lost and not actually do the things that you need to do for the results you're looking for. Having a plan of action sets you up for success. It gives you a specific path to follow so you know where you're going, what you have to do, and why. And again, not having a plan will be much easier to sort of give into temptation. So know what you're doing, whether that's meal prepping or you have a certain list of foods when you go to the grocery store, have a workout plan ready so when you go to the gym, you know exactly what you're going to do. You'll be much more likely to actually make this thing stick. So those are my 6 tips for how to make fitness stick. Thank you for watching. If you liked, feel free to like, subscribe. You can follow me on social media at Lane Nelson Fitness. And if you're interested in coaching, if you want someone to give you accountability, write your programs for you, help you out with nutrition, head on over to lanenelsonfitness.com. That's my website, and check out my coaching page for more information. I'll see you guys in the next video.